Welcome back, warrior. We are reading Genesis chapter 33. Today we are coming from the car from a park. We're waiting for brothers for soccer practice, or for one brother for soccer practice, brother and friends. And anyway, so we are Genesis chapter 33. Jacob and Esau meet and are reconciled. Esau receives Jacob's presents. Jacob settles in Canaan, where he builds an altar. Okay, so we're leading into when Jacob is going to meet Esau, and there was so much anxiety about that. And we get to see like what happens. Okay, so, and Jacob lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, Esau came, and with him 400 men, and he divided the children unto Leah and unto Rachel and unto the two handmaids. And he put the handmaids and their children foremost, and Leah and her children after, and Rachel and Joseph hindermost. And he passed over before them and bowed himself to the ground 7 times until he came near to his brother. And Esau ran to meet him and embraced him and fell on his neck and kissed him, and they wept. Oh, doesn't that sound like such a sweet reunion? Especially because Jacob was so worried that he would be so mad at him. Verse 5, and he lifted up his eyes and saw the women and the children and said, who are those with thee? And he said, the children with God, which God hath graciously given thy servant. And so he's trying to like say things in a way that he's being very submissive towards Esau. I'm trying to be super humble, obviously. And then it says, then the handmaidens came near, and they and their children, and they bowed themselves. And Leah also with her children came near and bowed themselves. And after came Joseph near, and Rachel, and they bowed themselves. And he said, what meanest thou by all this drove which I met? And he said, these are to find grace in the sight of my Lord. So remember the droves which he set up. He was like, by the way, we're going to do this many cattle, then we're going to have this many oxen or this many camels, and then we're just going to have them all back to back. So then when he comes, like Esau's going to see like all these things, right? But it was Jacob wanted to give gifts of those to him. So it was like, oh, hopefully by the time he gets to me, he'll be like, so nice. And Esau, let's see, he said, meanest thou by all the, okay. And Esau said, I have enough, my brother, keep that thou hast unto thyself. Right. And it's so cool because, Esau, what was his blessing was that he was going to have, now I can't even remember. It was like something about all the whole land and stuff. Anyway, or maybe it was, I don't know. I should probably go back and read it. But anyway, so then he says, and Jacob said, nay, I pray thee, if now I have found grace in thy sight, then receive my present at my hand. For therefore I have seen thy face as though I had seen the face of God, and thou wast pleased with me. And that's all he ever wanted. He just wanted him to be loved by his brother, And isn't that all we all want? It's just for our family to love us, right? They're like our favorite people. We just want to be loved by our family. And then verse 12, and he said, let us take our journey and let us go, and I will go before thee. And he said unto him, my Lord knoweth that the children are tender, and the flocks and herds with young are with me. And if men should override them one day, all the flock will die. Let my Lord, I pray thee, pass over before his servant, and I will lead on softly according to the cattle that goeth before me, and the children be able to endure until I come unto my Lord unto Seir. And Esau said, let me now leave with thee some of the folk that are with me. And he said, what needeth it? Let me find grace in the sight of my Lord. So Esau returned that day on his way unto Seir. And Jacob journeyed to Succoth, and built him an house and made booths for his cattle. Therefore the name of the place is called Succoth. And Jacob came to Shalem, a city of Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan, when he came from Paddan Aram, and pitched his tent before the city. And he brought a parcel of field where he had wait, and he bought a parcel of field where he had spread his tent at the hand of the children of Hamor, Shechem's father, for 100 pieces of money. And he erected there an altar and called it El Elohe Israel. Ooh, okay. Okay, and we have some commentary here from Red-Headed Hostess. So yes, the long-awaited reunion. Jacob saw Esau coming, and this art by Tissot captures this moment. Jacob then divided up his family, sent them forth. Okay, so we know that. Then Jacob went ahead, and as he approached Esau, Jacob bowed himself to the ground. He did this 7 times until he finally reached Esau. That's just so sweet, right? That he did it that way. Okay, so this is like the painting. Okay. And it was such a joyful reunion, right? And Esau wanted to escort Jacob, but Jacob refused and said that his company of children and animals would be too slow to keep up with Esau and his men. Then they said, that's what that was. I was wondering what he meant by that. Then they separated, and Jacob arrived to Succoth, where he settled his family. Okay. I do love that. Okay. So that is it for Genesis chapter 33. We're finally through it. Okay. And I believe we already read this. Maybe we didn't. Oh, yeah, we did. We totally read this. This was yesterday's. Let him prevail. It was the prevailing one. Okay, so then now we're going to be reading Genesis chapter 34. But did you know that the Come Follow Me manual skips 34, 35, and 36, and we go straight into 37? But I need to make sure that we read 34, 35, and 36, because I want to say that I read the whole Bible, and if I don't read every chapter, I'm not going to feel honest with myself. So, and I've only, I have read the Bible one other time. I've read it twice now, but like the Old Testament and New Testament. I've read the Old Testament and New Testament once, all together in this thing that I was, challenged that I was doing. It was like read all 5 standard works in 1 year, and that was amazing. But then I also read it, the New Testament and Old Testament again with the Come Follow Me reading before. And so I've read the Bible now, like the whole Bible now, 2 times. And so this is going to be my 3rd time reading the Bible, and I'm really excited about it because I feel like I'm getting different things this time. Okay, so that is it for today. So until Genesis chapter 34, stay strong, warrior. Did you want to say something? I guess. Do you want to wave?